I'm Wendy Wilson, and I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Realizing Potential. I'm very excited about today's guest. She is one of Southwest Georgia's, and let me not limit her, probably across the state, and I'm sure growing very quickly in terms of her reputation throughout the country. But she is one of our premier and leading entrepreneurs. She has great acumens in the area of makeup artistry and fashion design and styling, and she is none other than Albany's outstanding Miss Kawambee Dorsey. Thank you for joining me today with your super busy schedule, and I know you have a lot of wonderful family commitments and obligations coming up. Congratulations on the upcoming graduation for your amazing daughters. And
thank you.
So I know that just you're on a constant. That's your life. And I guess we wouldn't have it any other way. But let's share with our viewers a little bit of your story. You and I met, wow, it's probably been well over, I would imagine, maybe 10, 15 years ago. And you were a stylist in a very popular boutique. And everybody would kind of, clamor for you because of your expertise. And you're just a natural. So that's my assessment of you. Tell us, the viewers, the origins of what you're doing now and a little bit about you.
Okay. Yes. Well, you know what? It's been about 15 years, I would say, that we met. And I was at a very nice upscale boutique downtown Albany. And then I was that very shy little girl that blossomed while I was there. But now, yes, I have my own business, styling, and also doing makeup. This came about within the last few months, actually. And I'm very excited about it. It's something that just blossomed in me, like when I was at that boutique downtown. And now it's going so fast-paced, faster than I thought it would. But I'm doing what I love doing. I love people. Okay. And I love the personalization of people and finding out who they are and what they like, and see them blossom, as I talk to them. So I love the space that I'm in, and I love what I'm doing.
Outstanding. Good. And it's obvious. And so we'll get a little more specific. And so tell the viewers, we have various business majors here, or disciplines, under the College of Business, marketing, accounting, and business management, graduate programs as well. But of course, there has to be, whatever your business, there has to be a passion. There has to be a love for it. We hope that there is. And that certainly contributes to your success, if that is in existence. Tell the viewers, at what point, at what age did you know why you were passionate or fell in love with fashion and fell in love with makeup artistry?
Absolutely. You're right. There has to be a passion. And this passion was stirred up in me through, I think, childhood. Watching my mom. My mother is the type of woman that I think she has it all. I mean, I think she has everything. And I just watch her style herself, do her hair, do her makeup. And I'm the only girl. So just watching her and watching her mannerism really just molded me. And so where I am now, I just brought the passion out, and just doing what I'm doing is so important to me because I get to mimic, who inspired me, which is my mom, and she gets to see me. But main thing is just, like I said before, loving people, and also learning more about people, not only in the aspect of what they like and what they want, but watching, how they operate, and putting those two things together to bring, that one product to life, which is their style, their fashion, because everything is centered around, individuals and who they are and what they represent. But also doing the research and having leadership, having mentorship. I had to seek out for that mentorship because I thought I knew it all, but you always need someone to kind of critique, what you think, because everything has to be put to a trial. So, I think I know it, I want to do it, but am I doing it the right way? So that's where, more learning comes in, and don't be afraid to ask questions. But I thank God for mentorship. I do have a couple of mentors that guided me along the way. Still, I don't think you should ever let go of that hand, so I'm still, seeking, have mentorship along the way. So education is a plus, traditional or non-traditional, I feel like is needed in any area of business.
Great. Let's talk about two things. I want to talk about the mentorship piece. Let's expound upon that a little bit more, and then certainly the training piece. And I totally agree. The formal training is certainly wonderful and beneficial, but it is that commitment to lifelong training and development that certainly helps to add and build to the experience and the contributions to the service that you're providing to others. And I do consider it a service. We feel differently in terms of our attire and how we take care of our skin and the like. But going back to the learning piece, I have just been in awe over this generation, and I lose the whether it's Generation X or we add a number to it. But this latest, I would have to say, over the last 10 or 15 years, with the whole explosion with YouTube tutorials, and just been astounded when you see these just top tier premier influencers and people who have their businesses have skyrocketed, and many of them attribute it to, I just started learning on YouTube. Yeah. And so what I love about that is so many people just want to solely rely on the formal education, and these individuals, and I don't know, you share if that's been one of your teachers, if you will, how important that is, and that's intentional education, if that makes any sense. Will you share a little bit about your thoughts, your experience with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I really think that YouTube has come a long way. Like, we're in a whole new era now, and you can get a lot of good training from YouTube, but not all of your training, because a lot of things need to be hands-on, but I watched a lot of YouTube videos that can attribute to some of my, informal training. And now that we're in this generation that everything is on the computer and we like to watch and see and be entertained, that can be a small aspect of it. One thing about it, though, that one-on-one interaction, or even a class setting, like one of my trainings had been workshops. So I did, especially with the makeup, I went to a workshop where it was more hands-on, and there was a celebrity makeup artist that was teaching step by step. It was not only fun, but educational. I learned, because some people learn better by doing. I'm that person, not everybody learns just by reading. So that is a really good, and now influencers are taking over. Like, it used to be celebrities, that was getting all the clout, but now it's, if you have a million or 500,000 views, you pretty much a celebrity, and so it's okay to get that training, but always use that training hands-on, do trial and error, but that can be a small part, of your informal training. And I did seek after some YouTube videos. They call it YouTube University, but nothing more educational than hands-on.
Thank you for that. That's so important. And I have, as it sounds like you have too, people who just solely rely on that. And you're right, we all learn differently. And I can imagine the difference between watching somebody doing it and then somebody right by your side saying, no, you need to hold the brush this way, or this is a type of brush that I use. And just that one-on-one engagement, if you can pursue that, I can imagine just makes a huge difference. And that's applicable to any discipline.
Right.
Yeah. So thank you for sharing that. Let's talk about your mentors. I just had a conversation with a mentee yesterday, and we were just kind of mapping out what is the next year. She's going to take a gap year, and before she goes off to graduate school. And so she was telling me about someone that we both have worked with, and how she's, just kind of modeling herself after what she's done and been really impressed. And so I asked her, I said, have you asked her to mentor you? And there was silence on the phone. She said, no, I hadn't even thought about that. And I said, that's so many missed opportunities. Potential mentors will tell you one or two things. Yes, I can do it. And here is what I can do for you, depending upon the demands of their schedule. Or I know I don't, but let me make some other recommendations in terms of your learning experience. So
Mhm.
tell us a little bit about those mentors in your life, whether they be on the fashion side or the makeup artistry side. And will you share with our viewers, particularly our students,
Mhm.
how do you engage in that experience? You have to be intentional with mentorship.
Oh, yes, there has to be a connection. There really does have to be a connection. You have to seek people that are where you want to be or have done some of the things that you want to do. My main thing was I've always been a hands-on person. Like I can do the work, but the guidance and the background of the business, I missed that for years. When I got the vision back in 2013 to start doing what I'm doing, the makeup part and the fashion part, I was just ready to work. I was just ready to do because it was in my head. I just wanted to get it out there, but I didn't know a lot about business. So my mentorship came from needing to know more about business. How does business operate? What things do I need in order to say that I am a legit business? You know, because I was hustling. I feel like it was a hustle what I was doing. I was doing it good for years, but I didn't have my records kept. I didn't have good bookkeeping. So that's the kind of guidance that I was looking for of what do I need, how to. So one of my mentors, Dr. Elisa Lachelle, she was also a friend of mine, still is a friend of mine, but she's blossomed. She's grown so much, but she taught me a lot about marketing. How to market. She did a lot of my graphics, gave me a lot of business advice. And as she grew, she also taught me, you know, how she grew and what she grew in. And so it was able to help me because she went the path that I was on or getting ready to, you know, get on. I wanted to know how to. Also, Dr. Alicia Ritchie, she is actually like a phenomenal woman. She knows all about business, the background. She had a course called Get Beyond the Hustle.
Ah,
Okay. And that's exactly what I was doing. And I was ready to get beyond the hustle. So she mapped out strategies and how to legitimize your business, how to make sure, you know, you have your books, your records kept, you know, in order. And so that's what I needed to learn. And that's the kind of guidance I saw after. And it was a great match. Both of them were a great match to what I needed. And, you know, I still ask questions because as I go, I grow.
yes, yes. I don't know the other individual that you mentioned, but Dr. Ritchie she is outstanding. Such a generous spirit. And so you could not have selected a better mentor. And I know that she continues to give. That is so important. And to also see individual, you know, we talk about it's been heightened, you know, throughout this whole this social unrest that has been front and center over the last year and a half has always, you know, been in existence, but just certainly reached significant heights as of late. But one of the things that conversations that keep coming up is how representation matters. And so for you to see, you know, individuals that look like you, that have walked your same path, makes it more tangible to the moment and that much more achievable. There's not that, you know, that disconnect. And so it's so important that you give back or that we all give back, and I'm sure you were doing the same. I had the pleasure of entering your boutique. I guess it's been about a month ago,
Uh-huh.
and was so. It's so. I can come up with 1,000 descriptive words, but it's an oasis, if you will. That's the first one. You just want to stay in it. It captures you and elevates you. Tell us a little bit about that inspiration and the services, the name and the services that are provided at the boutique.
Yes, so I'm so excited just to talk about it. You see the smile on my face, and
Yes.
I'm glad that you experienced, you know, the feel of coming into the suite. So it's Ladylike Fashion and Beauty brand, but believe it or not, when I started my business, it was Ladylike lap scars.
Mm-hmm, I
So lap
remember.
scars was my specialty. And just latter part of 2019 is when I rebranded because, of course, it was funny that I rebranded it then because 2020 was necessary to rebrand because we got hit hard and everything closed down, the churches closed down, and what I was doing was not really essential or needed being, in 2020. So, like I said, latter part of 2019, we rebranded to Ladylike Fashion and Beauty because I wanted to encompass the whole thing about ladylike, and I am fashion and beauty, so that's what it represents. And yes, I have a suite at the East Suites on 7th Avenue. When I got ready to decide on how it was going to look, I really didn't know what direction to go in. And I kept asking, okay, what do I want? But once I saw the floor plan, I just kind of made it my own. I just wanted it to feel at home, but not homely, but to have that simple elegance about it. And I feel like that's what it represents. And I just feel so, I don't even know the words when I'm in that place. A lot of things I was doing from home, and I just wanted my home to be home and my business to be business. And now when people come in, and I have the wall of beauty where I have a few canvases of ladies I've done in the past, makeup wise, and we also have the photo wall. We also have, of course, the apparel and the setup for makeup. And so now women can come in a nice environment and get their makeup done and also shop from the apparel that I have.
Yeah, it is. It really is. That's a perfect word. It really is an elegant experience when you walk in. And when you were talking, I was transported back, and you have this homage to Eartha Kitt, who was just the quintessential everything when it comes to beauty and fashion. Yeah. So you've got some great inspiration in there. Give some advice as we prepare to wrap up to those budding entrepreneurs out there, how to get started, a lot of people think that it is not your standard 8 to 5. I know you're thinking about it and you sleep when you get up. Just give some overall advice. And let me just, before you go any further, let me start that and just stress the point. It is not for the faint of heart.
Absolutely. No, it is not for the faint. First thing is start writing things down. Write down your thoughts. Because a lot of things, once you write it, you hold yourself accountable for what you wrote, because this is what you said. And you can look back at what you said and just kind of put feet to it. It is not for the faint. Absolutely. I feel like you should not just do something because of the moment. It has to be a passion, a drive that's in your heart and that you've been feeling for a while. Seek guidance is what I really, really suggest. Seek guidance, and not just, sometimes you have to pay for it. All guidance is not free. Yeah, sometimes you have to pay because people's time, is valuable. As long as they have the education and they've been down that path, it's okay, but definitely go after your passion and know that you're in it for the long haul, not for, just a small season because it looks like it's trending. Try to leave those things behind and just take your time and go the course, but just make sure you have guidance, because without that, you can faint, you can get discouraged, and discouragement will come. But as long as you're writing down, journaling, please journal. I go back now and look at things that I've wrote down from years ago that inspire me and that motivate me to continue. Because when you get stuck, there will be times you get stuck and you wonder, why am I doing this? You look back at your notes and see that's why. That's why, because in 2015, this was my goal. So let me go back, and make a commitment to completing that. So whether you're getting that formal, informal education, continue to learn, because this is a learning path. We're learning something. I'm learning daily. What's from the smallest to the greatest, I'm learning something. So don't be afraid to ask questions and to get that guidance. Those are the two main things, but follow your passion. Your passion is going to be in your heart. It's not for a moment of time, but it's something that continues to kind of just nag at you, if you would say. It's just that thing that you can't get rid of.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Good deal. Good deal. Great, great, great advice. Again, congratulations. I will see you shortly. You and I have been discussing a piece that I want to come in and get. But and I keep using the word boutique, and I heard you say suite. I'm speaking that over you. That it's going to be this amazing boutique on any corner that you decide to have it on across the country. Because again, and you're right. I remember when you said, we were talking about, we met about some 15 years ago, you were this really shy, just striking, beautiful woman. And now this just, that vibrant personality just comes through in every engagement that you have. And I just know that I am so proud of you. And so many people are watching you and learning from you and being inspired just by, again, and I do call it service. Because you're helping to see individuals, helping them to see the true beauty in themselves.
Absolutely.
And helping that to manifest itself beyond the whole makeup and the clothing. And so that's what your gift and talent is. So again, continued success, Kawambee Dorsey. Tell us before we wrap up again, the name of the suite, soon to be large boutique, and also the location and address.
Yes, so it is Ladylike Fashion and Beauty. Now we're also online at ladylikefashionandbeauty.com. The address is 523 7th Avenue, Albany, Georgia, suite number 2.
I love it. And are there specific hours of operation or?
So we are, I like to be there. So it is by appointment.
Okay.
By appointment. But, and if you want my services by appointment, but we do have helpers. My daughter is employed there also. Yay. So, and we have one other person. So if you do want to just stop by, they're pretty much there from 10 to 6.
Okay. Very good. Well, good. I look forward to seeing you shortly. Continued success. Know that you're always welcome back on the show to tell us about the amazing things that you're doing. And we got to get you before our students here. They need some of that engagement. Yay. Yeah. Let's make that happen in the near future.
Awesome. I would love that.
Wonderful. Viewers, thank you so much for this edition of Realizing Potential. As always, I appreciate your viewership. Thank you to our guest, Miss Kawambee Dorsey. Please check out her amazing services. She shared the address. Continue to be safe and well, and we will see you next time.